MIA. Roll it.
A man is sentenced in a Pittsburgh murder case. The Better Business Bureau releases a warning about an employment scam and why the up and down temperatures have beekeepers concerned.
The 4 states most watched
Zoom. Zoom.
Pittsburgh man is sentenced for a stabbing death back in 2013.
Stand by full screen.
This is KOAM News at 6.
His full screen's up.
55-year-old
Stand by
James
VONB.
Willard of Pittsburgh has been sentenced to 14 years in prison on charges of voluntary manslaughter.
Roll B.
The stabbing happened back in October of 2013 on the 2000 block of John F. Kennedy Street in Pittsburgh. That's where authorities found 39-year-old Evans with serious injuries.
Stand by
He was
to
taken
go
to
back
the
to the full
hospital where
screen.
he was later pronounced dead.
It's in.
Willard was originally charged with second-degree murder, but instead he pleaded to a lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter, defined as a
Stand by
killing
camera
done in
3.
a sudden quarrel or in the heat of passion.
He's up.
The former owner of a Joplin and Webb City business has pleaded guilty to charges of mail fraud. 42-year-old Jeremy Elliott, who had owned a store called Mr. Nice Guy, admitted to engaging in a conspiracy to distribute synthetic marijuana that was labeled as incense. Elliott could get up to 20 years in federal prison without parole, plus a fine of up to $250,000.
He's up. Stand by VONA.
TurboTax restores all state tax e-filing after it was shut down yesterday over concerns of fraud.
Roll A.
The website was still up and running for federal returns, but filings for state taxes were suspended after concerns of scammers filing with stolen information from outside sources. The company doesn't believe the fraud was linked to a security breach. We talked with a local tax preparer who says for people in 4 states filing online with services like TurboTax can be tricky.
Roll B.
We have people calling because they don't
The
understand why it
19
won't go
took
through.
taxes out.
And I don't
Clear
use
VO
TurboTax.
tag.
I've always had a professional company do it. But you need
Stand by
to be
to
sure
kick out
that
over video.
your states are being filed correctly. And a lot of people don't understand that if you live in one state and you work in another state, you have to file in both states if they took taxes out.
Good out.
Tax preparer Deborah Nash says 2 out of 3 customers she
a little,
sees every day file their
on that
taxes in more than one state.
Stand by camera 3.
TurboTax says the more complicated the return, the more expensive the process.
He's on 3.
There's a warning from the Better Business Bureau about a growing trend in the workforce. More companies are incorporating the internet as part of their hiring process. But it's important
Stand
to
by
be extra careful
package
before
in A.
making any decisions. KOAM's Jordan Avi reports.
Roll A.
Tammy Ritchie has a message for you.
153 standard.
To become victim to employment.
We'll tag on
fraud
3,
like
then
this.
go to
Her story
1 for
begins
weather.
Just a few days ago, she posted a resume on a few well-known job websites. Then she got an email from this company, AAC Technologies.
I'm thinking, that's okay, cool. It's doing something for me.
She did some research into AAC Technologies, and things seemed to be legit.
My initial review had like Bloomberg and City Data, or not City Data, but a couple of other websites that just tell about the company's financials.
Human Resources with the so-called company asked her to either download Yahoo Messenger or Google Messenger for an online interview. The Better Business Bureau says many businesses have moved to more virtual work.
The scenery has changed in the business world over the last few years.
AAC Technologies sent Ritchie a check for more than $1,000. Her bank told her the check wouldn't bounce. But before the transaction was made, she found this report from the Better Business Bureau, profiling a different woman with the same initial situation, but a much worse outcome.
When will I be depositing the check? I said, well, I will not be depositing the check. He says, so you're not going to deposit in your personal account, are you going to open up a new account? I was like, no, I'm not going to open up a new account. He says, so when will you open up your new account and deposit this check?
Turns out, once people deposit AAC Technologies' check into their bank accounts, the accounts run dry, and AAC Technologies can no longer be contacted. Ritchie hasn't lost a dime to the company and believes her identity hasn't been stolen. By the way, we tried calling the China-based phone numbers of AAC Technologies.
Your international call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
I'm going to go back to something that
10 seconds. Stand by camera 3.
for many, many years. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
In Joplin, Jordan Nobby, KOAM News.
Jim.
Better Business Bureau says it's unusual for a company to send you money to buy anything up front, to say the least. Also, be careful when you're asked to travel without compensation And never give out your social
Stand by,
security
camera one.
number, especially until you see a company representative face to face.
Yeah.
Doug Eddy joins us. Plenty of sunshine to end the work week. It was windy out there, but still, you really can't complain. And the weather's getting even better as we go into the weekend, Doug.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good as we head through the next couple days. It will be windy
Traffic
all
is
weekend
up.
long, but
We're out on
at
3
least
on
the
a desk.
temperatures are going to be pretty nice. Mostly clear skies is what we definitely have for us right now, and it looks like that should be the case through at least the next several hours. Few clouds later on tonight, but at least temperature is fantastic. Most of us are sitting into lower 50s, a few upper 40s, and we're going to slowly drop back as we head through the rest of the evening hours through the lower 50s into the mid 40s. In fact, we're only going to bottom out right around 40 degrees later on tonight. Big warm up once again as
Stand by,
we head
camera
into
3.
the daytime hours tomorrow. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks, Doug.
Shoot out.
Local beekeepers say the inconsistent temperatures we've seen this winter have an impact on bees in several ways. Beekeepers are putting in more hours
Stand by,
to ensure
package
the
in B.
hives remain alive and well. KOAM's Kaylee Doherty has details.
Roll B.
A mild winter
124
brings more
standard.
active bees and more work for beekeepers like Victoria Carpenter.
Beekeepers really need to pay attention to the warmer weather and be giving them sugar water as a supplement.
Carpenter says high temperatures increase the demand for food and also increase the risk of disease within the hive.
Bees genetically are very weak, so they're pretty susceptible.
Pest control is also an issue.
I have to work harder because of the pests that are involved. The small hive beetle, it's a pest that could really mess up a honey hive.
Another complication, drastic drops in temperature.
The bees can migrate across the hive looking for food, and they get caught there as night comes along, and the temperature drops, and they have to cluster in smaller clusters. If it stays cold for a long period of time, they could freeze to death.
Foley says if beekeepers don't alter the way they do their job in accordance with the weather changes, the bees could die off, creating a significant
All right, we're going to
negative
tag on
impact to our
camera 3
region.
and then go to
Lose
2
our
for the
total
bump.
crops, but it would get mighty bland eating. It would really hurt us because think about it. You have to have a lot of plants have to be pollinated by pollinators.
Foley says keeping the bee population healthy requires collaboration.
More experienced beekeepers are telling the
10
newer
seconds.
beekeepers
Stand
and
by,
the
camera
experienced
3.
beekeepers what to look for.
It may kick us at the end of February and March, so, you know, we're just doing all we can.
In Joplin, Kaylee Doherty, KOAM News.
Kiln.
The
Stand by,
Joplin
camera
Area
2 and music
Beekeepers
to bump.
Association will address questions regarding how to keep bees healthy during fluctuating temperatures at their next meeting. That's going to be Tuesday, February 24th at the Southwest Missouri Bank Community Building in Duquesne.
And Kiln, music hold. Stand by, V on A.
Stories, quick check of the weather within the first 7 minutes of KOAM News. That's
Roll A. Stand by, V on B.
Students show off their skills at Missouri Southern.
Roll B. Stand by, VR.
Balloon launch in Joplin hopes to raise awareness of an issue plaguing American women.
Roll VR.
Live from KOAM. You're watching KOAM News at 6. This is the 4 states' most watched news.